Welcome back, everyone. It's ExtraTyne on Gallagher Shots. It's the week at Newcastle United. As always, what a week it's been. My name is Emil. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Jess, who's about to get invaded by a cat at any point. Yes. So watch out for that bonus content.
She'll be here somewhere lurking.
And on the advice of the Shields Gazette, we delved in and got two of the biggest Newcastle United influencers that we could find, as voted by me and also me and the person who wrote this script, Emil French. Oh, it's me as well. Yes, we're joined by regular now, Matty, who I mugged off last week for Dean.
Did? Yeah. Hiya.
Is your Steve Bruce impression any good?
Nah, it's terrible.
No. Can you
I'm not doing it like.
Probably do a better, if you can do it, probably do a better job than him at the minute this week. Yeah. And we've also got Amy, who is second in the Gallagher Shots Fantasy Premier League. That's not why we got you on. We're not here to get your secrets. But your Bubbles Tea fame on Twitter. Yeah. Secret identity revealed.
I know.
What is the reason behind that name? I've always wanted to know.
I don't know. I love tea.
Right, okay. Wasn't like just a suggestion on Google Chrome one time. When I was thinking like this.
It's quite strange, but when I was younger, I used to get called Amy Bubbles, so I just did Bubbles Tea. So
it's really cute. It just sounds so lovely.
A big welcome to Amy Bubbles tonight, then. That's going to be it from now on. Yes, Matty, always good to have you back. Amy, thanks so much for joining us. Jess, could you sum up this week for us in one word?
Disaster.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it shouldn't be, given that in the grand scheme of things, we've not lost the game.
That's the thing. Like, I've never been so disillusioned and disappointed in a week when we've got a point and progressed into the next round of the cup. Like, I feel like I should be a point against Spurs and getting through the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. I feel like I should be absolutely buzzing, but I'm not. I'm really not.
I know. I think there's many factors with it. I mean, there's also the ongoing thing of not being able to go to any of these games, not actually being able to enjoy out and about. I think when you sat there in the comfort of your own home, or as I was watching it on the sofa at work on my phone like that, telling everyone that they were an absolute shithouse, it's not the same experience, but I think disaster is a fair enough word. We'll start off with the game at Tottenham, Sunday afternoon. The last time we played Tottenham was a similar afternoon, and we somehow once again got away with murder. It was daylight robbery in the final seconds. Matty, I mean, that first half in particular was just an abysmal sign of things to come, wasn't it?
Yeah, massively. I mean, first half, second half, all merged into one for me until the last 2 minutes, and then daylight robbery with a high vis vest on. It was just so bad. I watched it. I mean, we spoke about it a lot in previous stuff, and I won't want to go over too much. But to set up defensively the way we did, to make that change from the 4-4-2, and you're playing with a back five, and it is the most back five of back fives. There's no pushing on wing backs. It's 5, it's 4, and then there's one lad who's meant to score goals.
Moving forward like one of the penny machines,
yards.
Yeah, exactly. Back and forth. Yeah.
So it was really tough, and I think Decker said something similar. He said we're the only team who could make a defensive change and still concede shot after shot after shot on target. So when that's not working, what do? You change it, but we didn't. And but thankfully, I say thankfully. It wasn't too much recompense, but we got a point in the end.
Yeah, thankfully, Son got injured. Is all I'll say.
I thought they just took him off for a laugh. I just thought
people said that.
Let's rest him. He's played too much. Let's just rest him. Bring Bergwijn off. He'll score a goal. But I mean, I don't wish ill on the lad. But at the end of the day, I'm happy he was a bit injured because he probably would have ended up scoring anyway.
Bit injured.
I captained him, didn't I?
I captained him as well.
Thanks, Jenny.
I wasn't happy.
Yes, did you? So you took my advice. You all laughed at me last Thursday.
Do you know who I swapped him for as well? Vardy.
Oh,
honestly, I was absolutely devastated. Insult to injury.
It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Amy, there's got to be a bit of confidence we can take from actually having a decent penalty taker. Do you think it's good having Wilson there? You're confident every time he steps up now?
Yeah, because I have Kennedy in my head every single time somebody comes to do a penalty. So, yeah, it was a lovely one. I'm really pleased, yeah.
Kennedy's in your head rent-free still after all these years, after that
yeah.
Cardiff one. And it was a good penalty. Wilson loved it. I mean, do you think that it's good that we've got a striker that, regardless of how he gets the penalty, is saying to the interview afterwards, like, I don't really care. You know, it's a goal. A goal's a goal.
It was quite funny, that was actually, wasn't it?
His interview was quality.
Bit of banter going on there, and poacher's instinct. And he didn't get an England call up for that performance against Tottenham. Come on, Southgate. Are you watching? Are you out there? Come on, man. I mean, the real man of the match for Newcastle seems to be at the other end of the pitch in pink. Carl Darlow. Wow, what a display. I mean, some positives to take from that, Jess, in a week where a lot of people were maybe saying Darlow wasn't up to the task. He put in a Dubravka-like performance.
Yeah, I think he earned his yearly wage in like the first 10 minutes or something. Like he was absolutely, that double save was like, it was
unreal.
I can't remember who, someone said in the group chat, probably one of the best double saves they've seen. Like he was absolutely brilliant. We were very, I was very grateful for him, we'll say that, because I think had it been someone else, I think the score would have been very different.
Well, someone else had a howl of midweek, if you like.
Oh, God, I know.
I think the guys covered that on the instant reaction a bit last night, but we're not going to get too much into that. Matty, were you happy with the points? I know it's.
I'm not going to be. Yeah, I'm going to be fuming with the point. I mean, obviously, me and Bess were talking about it after the match, and there's relief there. And when we support Newcastle the way we do, there is always going to be a little bit of euphoria inside of you when you score at the last minute to get a point or 3 points. It's great, no matter what's happened in the previous 89 minutes. But like, it soon goes away when the performance is that bad. Like, I mean, I don't expect us to play that well against the top six, but we've got a decent record against Spurs, and I'm sick of hearing the word nullify and frustrate and all these words used to Newcastle set up to nullify and frustrate the opposition, and we don't even do that properly. So I think, of course I'm happy with the point, but it's not a big bit of paper to go over a massive crack. It's just there's so many more problems. But yes, of course, I was happy with the point in the end. It helped me sleep on a Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, going after that game, with the stats spoke for themselves. The shots per game for Newcastle is 9. We're 19th in the Premier League with that. Shots on target per game, 1, leaving us 20th in the Premier League. It was absolutely woeful in that respect, and I can't personally find what we should change. Some might say San Maximan, but then he didn't have as great a game against Tottenham in the last 2 times he's tried against them. It doesn't look good. But yeah, a point's a point at the end of the day, and hopefully we'll rectify the situation in the next 7 days, because if not, then we're screwed. The talk prior to the game was about Jose Mourinho having a lot of respect for Newcastle United, Mr. Robson's club, as we all know, and it makes us all weep. But Amy, I know I mentioned this in the WhatsApp earlier. Jose Mourinho coming to Newcastle, do you think it's almost written in the stars a little bit?
I hope so.
Somewhere down
Imagine.
the line. I'd love it to happen. I'm just saying, I'd love it to happen. Could you see it being a bit like... I thought of it as like following fully in the footsteps of Robson to finish his career at Newcastle, the fully grey Mourinho. Would you take him?
Poetic. That would be nice and poetic, wouldn't it? But I can't see it happening myself.
Yeah, but then again, we did have a top Spanish manager with us not so long ago, and desperation brews, and God knows. I doubt he'll be the next one, but he'll certainly be in there. Jess, what do you make of? See, talk of Mourinho, just gone like that. She'll be back in a second. Matty, I'll come back to you about Mourinho, a man who likes his tactics. Do you like Mourinho's style? Do you think that it's... I know a lot of people are saying he's past it and he'll turn the TV off and tell you where to go.
Yeah, I mean, with Mourinho, to sort of answer the question you asked Amy, of course you'd take him at Newcastle. There's that great romanticism, that amazing connection. When one of the top... managers, not of all time, he's won the Champions League with 2 different clubs. He's won titles everywhere he's went. For him to have that connection with your club through a manager who, everyone knows and loves, and probably one of our best and well-known managers. But in terms of his tactics, Mourinho, he's over the last few years, he's went a bit funny, hasn't he? His charisma's sort of gone. He's went a bit crazy, if you could say that. And he's been accused of playing this super defensive football But I mean, at the end of the
Hi,
day,
Daryl, by the way.
But at the end of the day, I would take him. I mean, it's defensive football, yes, but I mean, what are we playing now? If his football is defensive football, what is the football we're playing now? I mean, what do you call that?
She's got again. I don't know what's going on here. We will try and wait to see if she's coming back. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I think that Mourinho, it could be the type of club that he comes back to and thinks, you know what, I'll give this one last shot. Are you all right, Jess?
I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Can you not? Can you not hear us? This is fun. Jess has got rubbish patter. Can you hear us?
I don't know what's happened here. Like,
oh no!
I can't hear anything.
What's going on? Are you plugged in? Hello? Hello?
Oh, hang on. I can hear you now, but it's coming out my phone, not me.
Oh,
there we. Hello.
We can do
it. We can edit that out. You saw nothing, YouTube. You saw nothing. That's probably the best bit of the night. Are you okay?
Yes. You just keep cutting off.
It's all right. It's lovely.
I don't know whether to move.
I don't know whether to move. Router, is she? Is the cat near the router?
Yeah, that's it. The cat's got to take the Wi-Fi out.
I think. I'll tell you. I'll just, if it cuts off again, I'm going to move because I think it's because I'm sat at the opposite end of the flat to me Wi-Fi. So
it's that game of FIFA taking all of it away. You were just talking about Mourinho, Jess. Would you have him at Newcastle?
I would. I've always liked him. I like the way. I like his style of football. I like his attitude. I like him as a person. I like his honesty. I've always liked him, and I think he is the kind of manager that we should be going for. Let's say.
Do you not think the style of football's changed a lot though in the last few seasons though? Like that's why he's got so much criticism.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well,
he's not had that injection of oil money though, has he? You know, I know he's spent a lot, but Chelsea was the project, wasn't it?
Yeah, his levels of success obviously show that because what was the last thing he won?
Well,
Europa League with Man United,
but he also won the FA Cup or the League Cup with Man U as well. I mean, I know that's not seen as massive success, but everywhere he's went, he's ended up winning trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
So far.
Yeah, but he's not been there.
Carabao Cup this year, guys. Don't you dare say that's not a cup for a success. It could be coming. Haven't seen him win one of them in a while. That's all. Before we get on to the cup game, the bad news after Tottenham was that Matt Ritchie's out again. Amy, is that a devastating blow, would you say?
I think so. I think that we're lacking a midfield at the moment with who we've got in there. So I know he was playing quite defensively the other day, but I do think it's going to be a big miss for us. I do, yeah.
At least he can't go to Bournemouth for definite now. Andy Carroll keeping to his word there. Blow to Richie, as it said. And Fabian Schär was back in, which is, was I dreaming or didn't he was fully in a hospital bed?
Yeah.
Like, is he on some sort of Lance Armstrong medication and growing
just a
his
shoulder,
arm
man?
back?
Just a shoulder.
Just a shoulder. I know, but I mean, to be fair, you need your feet more than anything. Yeah. So, I mean, unless his arm was dangling off as he went to the box last night and stuff like that. But
it's the same injury though, isn't it?
Richie's got a similar injury to Schär. Yeah.
So we're looking at about the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Good luck to Matt. Matty, you did your message to Matt last time. Do you want to do a quick get well message?
Oh, I did want a Schär.
Was it Schär? Was it? Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, do you want to do one to 2
seconds? I'm
to Matt Ritchie.
Compose myself.
It's an emotional moment. So go on.
Matt, you're very important to this team. As much as you might not be a starter, I think you're an amazing guy. You're a very intense guy, and I think that's only going to put you in good stead to heal your shoulder. Once you have surgery, please don't smack your surgeon in the back of the head. That's going to cause trouble. But I can't wait to see you back playing out of position at left back. I love you so much. Get one soon.
Some of it, I missed half the words. And I thought you heard. All I heard was get your shoulder sorted quick. Have you please done smack? And I was like, well, that's not gonna make it any better. I know. I was like, what are you on about? Backyard Hartlepool tactics. There was it.
It was quite emotional. That.
I know.
Jess is crying.
It was lovely. It was really.
It doesn't take much for Jess to go, to be honest.
Broken Wi-Fi.
You could tell her that Red Stripe was on offer at Aldi and she started crying the other week, to be fair. I mean, it was like 24 cans for how much?
He's not even joking.
It was the takeover falling through was less emotional. Okay, emotions running high last night in the Carabao Cup, which Newcastle are now nailed on favourites to win. Newport County, Rodney Parade. What a lovely place. I think it was the only stadium I've seen in years which has got a different type of seating for each end. You had the classic, you had actual houses where people were watching, you had a full stand with the weird coloured in seats, and then a car park at one point. But it was the worst start ever. I mean, it was just like, it was like when Oxford started equalising in the FA Cup last year, and you just thought it's happening again. It was a bad mistake from Mark Gillespie. God knows how he didn't save it. Matty, I mean, what went wrong?
To be honest, I was in my car driving home from work because I got stuck in traffic, and I was listening on BBC Radio Newcastle, and John Anderson was like, "Oh, he's had a howler there," and I was thinking, how bad could it be, really? And then I saw it, and like, it was one of the when you see it the first time, you think from the actual match view, you think something's had to have gone on there. Like, no one misses that. And then you watch it back a couple of more times, and you think, yeah, like, because the surface looked okay to me. I might be totally wrong.
I think it tagged down. There's someone who said that, I can't remember who, but the game kicked off, and then there was a tweet saying the heavens have opened as the game kicked off. So I was like, oh well. But normally rain doesn't phase anything. It doesn't
make a kick up off a slick surface that much.
It must have been raining olive oil at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going everywhere.
And a groundhog came out the floor. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. That bit of grass that David Beckham took his penalty off.
Exactly. But I think it was a bad mistake. But it's a shame because I've been singing Mark Gillespie's praises because he's been called upon quicker than
because he looks like you with a beard.
He looks like me with a beard.
Like you with a beard.
I'll take that. I think he's a good-looking chap, so I'll take that. Thank you so much. And I think, I mean, one day I'll hit puberty. I'll be able to hit grow beard.
Don't start with me on that.
And you know, we can do a Mark Gillespie, interview, and that'll be sound. But back to Mark Gillespie.
Well, because you've got facial hair. Yeah. What? Have you like looked him up and said, what does it take for Mark Gillespie to do an interview? And it says, must have facial hair like me.
Must have a lovely beard. He has a lovely beard. Anyway,
yes.
I think he's done very well in the last two League Cup games. Granted, he didn't do much against Morecambe, but it's just a shame he's made that mistake. Obviously, he sort of corrected that with a decent half. I thought it was a good save in the penalty shootout, to be honest. I think we'll get to that.
It's got to be the most game time I think a reserve keeper's ever had in the space of 1 month.
From signing. Especially from Saturday they've signed, So
because we've had the games coming in the cup thick and fast. It's like once every week, so he's getting cracking amount of game time. Yeah,
definitely, and it was a bad mistake. Hopefully, he can move past it, but thankfully, it didn't cost us too much. So
yeah, well, Newport did fancy their chances. Amy, did you get to see the game yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you think that? I mean, they're a team that have seen off some canny opposition. Swansea went, Watford, they all won, and Newport have got a bit of a good record. Do you think there was ever an element that Newport maybe were just one of those games where, like when we were in the Championship, they upped their game for Newcastle a bit?
Oh, definitely. You could see that they wanted it more than we did last night, I thought. Their defending was really good. Either that or we were just really, really poor going forward. But we had how many shots on target? 10 or something.
10,
We had a fair amount by the end.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that they played really well last night.
They were very good.
That goal of theirs seemed to go in a mile an hour. It was in slow motion. It was
it was. Yeah.
I thought they fought really well, and I actually feel a bit sorry for them, but not that much because we're through. So.
Yeah, I know it is a shame when you see a team play that well, and I think they did deserve it. So good luck to them in their league quest this year. But Shelvey had his moments, good and bad. There's been a few questionable quotes today about the old ways of Newcastle United hoofing the ball forward. For some reason, I think Shelvey must have shut his eyes for the entire game because that's exactly what we were doing for that entire first half, mate. But yeah, it took a bit of Premier League class from him, Jess. I mean, no doubt about it, the goal was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, the goal was brilliant, but to use a phrase Matty used earlier, it's like it's a small bit of paper to cover over a massive crack. Like I don't like being negative, and I don't like singling players out, but the 2 games this week, he was atrocious. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. He's like there's nothing. He's just got nothing. He's not bringing anything to the team. He just looks so negative. Even like his crosses, it's just been shocking, absolutely shocking. Yeah, and I say, I don't like being negative, but
no, I don't think any of us do, and it sums up what you said at the start. How this week's managed to be a disaster despite getting the equivalent of 4 points, if you like, but and a cup run out of it. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about Gillespie going a bit AWOL in that first bit, but if you look at the playback, the goal, the shot before that, Shelvey just does leave the guy, and it's inexcusable that against no matter like which level. Maybe there's a level of arrogance there that he doesn't think a team like Newport are going to score a goal that he would score, but the guy had a crack, and there we go. But Shelvey's goal happens right at the end, and wonderful that he went and shushed the crowd that weren't there.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know if anyone saw the thing, but I retweeted it. Where it was the guy who was watching in his room in the house, and it was Shelvey just going. I was like, part of me would love him to do that, but I think he might have been shushing the bench of Newport. Because I think that they were giving it beans a bit towards the end.
But they're going to, aren't they? They're going to.
Yeah, absolutely. Rightly so.
Probably doing that without the crowd anyway. It's brilliant that the players are getting absolutely rattled by the team's touchlines now. It's brilliant. Oh, dear. Madness. And then there was penalties. I can't remember what it said about our penalty record, but it wasn't good.
10 out of 11. 10 out
of 11 was it, Matty? But guess who missed? I mean, the guys did again cover this on the instant reaction, and
Mark Douglas.
Mark Douglas took the penalty. That's what it was.
Try to pens him.
Yeah, if you want to cause a stir amongst the Newcastle fan base, simply put something out about Ward Joe. I was gutted he missed that. I really was. I think most Newcastle fans are actually of that opinion. I know he didn't score a goal anyway, but I'm not going to say he changed the game. I think he certainly looked more up for it than some of the players did in the first half. Certainly having him and Wilson on the pitch in the second half helped. And Joe Linton didn't change the game against Tottenham either, but a bit of effort wouldn't go amiss. Miguel Almiron used to never score goals and gave a lot of effort, and he still doesn't get as much that Joe Linton seems to get, but we got through on penalties. Matty, I mean, is that? I know we've gone over the paper over the cracks thing, but that performance as a whole, do you see us bouncing back from that?
There's no bounce back. I feel like right now, bounce back.
Did we just draw a line under it then?
Yeah, you've been pushed one way and you have to come back the other. Whereas now I feel like we're just stagnant, and that's three performances on the trot where we've just looked lackadaisical. We've tried. That's 3 different formations now. 4-4-2 against Brighton. The 5 at the back against Tottenham, and then whatever that was against Newport. And just nothing seemed to work. So I think right now we just need.
I love how there's a 7-0 nestled in amongst that as well.
well, no, the 7-0. But like I'm just saying, like there's those 3 performances where it's just like there was just no conviction. There was no real grit in it. And I think now when it comes to Burnley, I have a feeling that he might go 4-4-2 again. Get back to basics, as Steve Bruce likes to say. And they just need to pull themselves up. And I hope they can do it, but I just don't have that much confidence in it happening. So, I mean, I pray that I'm wrong. I hope on Saturday that we start with a positive lineup and with some players coming in who haven't played for a while, especially Alan St. Maximin. And we'll try and have a go at them, but that's what it needs. It needs a bit of positivity. We need to go all guns blazing, because if we just sit back again, without the crowd, if the crowd was there, Steve Bruce would be getting a very tough time of it, and the team would be getting a tough time of it. But even without the crowd there, it seems like they've got this just negative attitude, and within 20 minutes they just sort of sink into themselves. And I'm just hoping that doesn't happen.
I know there's been a lot of talk that the players are fond of Bruce whether that's because he's a bit more laid back than what they were used to prior to that with the sharp drills and stuff. But a lot of people might have been suggesting last night that there was an element that he's lost the dressing room. Amy, would you say that might have been the thing, or do you think it's just purely the tactics that they're given?
Did you do tactics? I have no idea. What was that? Where have you heard that from?
Well, I just saw it a few times. I saw a couple of things about losing the dressing rooms. You know, that the players didn't look up to it. You know, there's got to be something there of like, what is it that he's saying to these players that is making them come out and forget?
Perform like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, I'm afraid. I just don't know. Like, it's been boring, hasn't it? It's really, really boring.
Yeah.
It's just and every game that we lose, it's the same problems. So it's like too much space, not going forward. Like, I don't know what he's doing to them, but it's not like he's the first manager that they've played like this under. But I don't know. He needs to change it up, doesn't he? Something needs to happen.
Something will happen. Yeah. I mean, we are the kings of bouncing back. I know it's not the term that Matty wanted to use, but we are the kings of bouncing back somehow with a mad performance. But we don't know who we've got next up in the Cup. I don't know if the draw's happening as we speak.
No,
but,
I think they're still playing now, so I think it's
Liverpool, Arsenal still playing at the time of recording. Well, you know, there's two names that we'd love to get. There's also the likes of Man City in there. Ooh,
Brentford.
Brentford. I mean, Brentford just told Fulham a new one, so let's maybe skip past that. I would have preferred Fulham. I think Villa and Stoke are playing, but it doesn't look like it's going to last forever. Jess, would you just rather that we were out of the Cup and just have done with it?
No, I want a cup run. I want
Well, this might be it.
When we were watching the game last night, people were saying, obviously because we were 1-0 down until towards the end, people were saying, well, it's just going to be an extra game for us anyway. We can't afford. We don't want to have another game. And I was like, I'd rather us go through and give it a go than sacrifice the chance of winning a trophy just for the sake of, well, it's an extra game. It is an extra game, but the extra game's not until December. Yeah, that's there's plenty of time between
that's a hell of
now
a gap,
and then,
isn't it? Now that we've caught up with the League Cup.
I know. Yeah.
I did say it was nice last week, but I think something's got to be good about the fact that we're not going to be playing a midweek game in the meantime, because European competitions are going to start coming in as well. So other teams are going to have more games at the same time as we're not. So, and Adam said this in the first week of us doing ExtraTyne. This season is going to be built on teams having that depth and that ability to, reinvigorate the players and have them back fighting fit in a very short space of time. I don't even want to think about Christmas yet, but if we can at least get through these rounds comfortably, or not so much last night, but get through them and then have those breaks, then that might do us a bit of God knows what. What would happen if Steve Bruce won Newcastle the Cup, Matty? Like, would people? I mean, I think it was almost like it'd be like putting two magnets together and something would explode, because I feel like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, he's not my first choice for manager. He's no one else's first choice for manager. He's very much behind the times. But at the end of the day, if someone said to me, "Oh, do you want to win the League Cup, but Steve Bruce be manager?" Of course I want that to happen. Like, I don't sit here and chastise Steve Bruce for his methods and want him to lose every game just so I can say I told you so. So like, I'm going to sit here, and if someone says, "Do you want to win a cup?" Of course I want to win a bloody cup, man. I wouldn't see me for a week, even in bloody lockdown. I'll go and drink on the beach by myself for a week. But like,
do that anyway. To be fair,
yeah, dude.
That's what you did before you came and joined the channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, can you tell? But it's a strange one, because it's not a sort of a double-edged sword or anything. I want Newcastle to do well. Who doesn't matter who the manager is, but at the same time, I just don't see us progressing under Bruce. But if we fluked the League Cup, which I don't think we will, but if we did, I feel like that would sort of give justification to all the pundits and all the naysayers who go, look, he didn't like Bruce, but he's won you a trophy. But
some of them would struggle what to type, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't care. Of course I wouldn't care.
No.
it's a strange thing, but if it happened, it happened. It's not going to happen, and without sounding horrible, like, you know, I think
we know that. I think for some it's so hard to comprehend Newcastle being successful with that style of football.
It can't happen.
It's like, of course it can't. Of course it can't. And if it did, it would just cause headaches unbounded. I mean, it's just a weird thought. It was weird for me because last night I think was the first time in all of my time I've actually given him a chance last season. And yes, we had some wonderful moments last season. And I know it wasn't the most beautiful style of play, but last night was the one where I was like, if we go out here, I'm going to be starting thinking, well, if it's happening this early in the season, then let's just let it happen. But because it's us, because of what I've seen with McLaren and others, we won't act quick enough.
It's like a sort of analogy of, like, you know, and
it's like a COVID response.
It's it's strange. It's like,
coming.
You know,
it's over there. No, we'll act there.
You drive your car super dangerously every morning to work, and you have an accident every time. Are you going to keep driving your car dangerously until you have an accident? You know, and it's I don't know. That might sound
depends on the driver, to be honest. But
and that's Steve Bruce is driving the car. But it's just a strange one. Like, we can see what will eventually happen because it looks like he's riding his luck so much.
Yeah.
And if we could,
the luck can run out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear me, it's a headache. Amy, how did you feel about it? What's your kind of view on the whole Bruce and this seeming real build up now that's happening, especially on Twitter?
What about him going?
No, not so much about him going. Just like what's your view? I mean, on the style of play. I mean, would you be? What would it take for you to say, like, right, that's it, we need to change immediately, type thing?
I don't know.
It's already happened.
Yeah, but it's happening now, isn't it? Like,
yeah, this is the
Brighton
stage.
game was atrocious. The Spurs game was awful. Again, what is it, League 2 yesterday? That was awful to watch. Like, and that's just in the space of a month, a week, 2 weeks.
That West Ham game's like a pipe dream now, isn't it?
I can't remember years ago.
That phase of play, we were just talking about it again before. Like, we signed 3 players, we beat West Ham at their gaff, and then everything seemed okay.
I honestly had false hope there. I was like, "This is it. We've done it. We've signed them. They've lured us in, and then they've shit us out, haven't they?"
Andy Carroll had his one good game. If we could spend another hour on him, if we could, but we just don't have the time. It's been a week of lucky let-offs. Speaking of transfers there, just a few other things. We had Rodrigo Vilca, who's been a constant in this podcast eating video each week, because we've gone through the full thing now of him being mentioned, to him being speculated by his brother last week, and then last night he left his game in Peru in tears. But don't worry, he was losing 5-0, his team. So, he probably saw how we were playing, as a lot of people pointed out. He's like, quick, go to the sidelines. Look, they're playing Newport County, son. Fancy that? No, I don't want to go. I'd rather lose 5-0 in Peru. All I will say is that he has to learn the trumpet, because I would love nothing more than to have a repeat of the time that Norberto Solano played the trumpet down the phone to Bobby Robson. Oh, what a story, eh? In other news, Rondon the Rat has said that he'd like to come back. I'm joking, of course. Please don't send me any hate mail. Rondon has said he'd like to come back to Newcastle. Jess, I mean, would you think is that a no-brainer, or have we kind of gone past that now, and would be that too much of trying to bring back the good times?
It's a difficult one, because it's nostalgia, isn't it? It's like a nostalgia for something which was only just happened.
Like, so we're not going to get beads.
But it's like, but it's like you say, to remembering the good times, and you think, God, it was so much better when we had him. I would take him. But do you just need to, like, suck it up and move on, and work with what we've got, and bring in new faces? Like, oh no, I was going to say we were on about it last week, but that was people who have let out on loan and brought back, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rondon was a loan that came, and I mean, Rondon's a long list of those strikers who should have stayed at Newcastle but never did. I mean, God knows where we would be if Remy had stayed. God knows where we'd be if Rondon had stayed. God knows where we'd be if Rafa had stayed.
You had to.
Sorry, he's up there for all of the fans. You know. Who knows? Maybe I am the man behind the facts. Imagine after all this time, it was just me.
you.
I know where you live. I'd be straight. I would be straight down. I'd be absolutely furious.
Well, speaking of Rafa facts, that was a good time to talk about shithouse moments. We've had a week of lucky let-offs. This is something that we popped in the group earlier. Shag that tweet. We as Newcastle fans love a shithouse moment. I think any football fan loves it. It's just the right amount of what's it that HLTCO says? It's just the right amount of pettiness that I can get on board with. These really are. We were talking about those moments similar to Wilson in his interview the other day. Amy, did you have any that came to mind?
You were on about Taylor with the free kick, and thank God that went in, by the way, because that would have been worth nothing. But I'm not really good with kind of shithousery, to be honest. But I did think about our comeback with Arsenal when Joey Barton. Well, anything Joey Barton ever did.
That's a great one. It's a great one.
And he got someone sent off, didn't he? So he must have been giving it some.
Yeah, giving it to
Dion. That was a red card.
It was. He did have hold of his neck, didn't he?
Amy, the closet gunner there. It's all coming out now. But you know what? To be honest, I was hoping that Arsenal was going to get mentioned because I was thinking about it, and I was like, actually, no, that was just a great comeback. But then, of course, that's just thinking about the Tiote goal. But prior to that, what we got? 2 penalties. And every time the penalty went in, Kevin Nolan and Joey Barton pretty much apprehended the goalkeeper, tackled him to the floor.
Kevin Nolan should have been sent off. Kevin Nolan should have been sent off that game.
Oh yeah,
he grabbed Jess. He basically did what Diaby did Joey Barton. He grabbed him around the head and threw him on the floor and was like, "Gives me ball back," like in a playground.
It's my ball. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, it was great that, because I mean I was sat in the other end of the pitch. You know, all of the goals went in the Gallagher, of course, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, every goal, not just our goal, every single goal. Yeah. And I was in the paddock, and I just remember I was like, "Oh, this is insane!" And then you watch it all back, and you're like, "Bloody hell, we really wound them up a bit, didn't we?" Who was it? Was in goal for them? Was it not Fabianski, but the other one? Szczesny. Yeah, he was not a happy man.
Yes.
Not at all. Arsenal's a good one. Stephen Taylor, we've mentioned. Matty, I know we've had good Stephen Taylor moments on this video. Me and Jess doing our impression the other week, but Stephen Taylor just outright shithouse king.
Yeah, he's shithouse king. Shithouse king. He's done it. He did the. He's now in India. Is he not? He
went to India.
Yeah. So
watching these videos. Good.
But he did his free kick wall dance in Australia last season, which was
doing that little thing where he like waves.
Yeah. He mimics the keeper when the keeper's trying to sort the wall out. But in terms of shithouse moments, like we talked about earlier, like I don't want to call him a shithouse because I loved him too much, but James.
It's the team as a whole is a shithouse.
Oh well, yeah, I guess so. But James Perch, you know, him going down off that Pepe Reina vicious headbutt.
Oh yeah, the invisible headbutt. What a great one.
The season we finished fifth. That's a bit of a shithouse moment for me. That same year, Joey Barton, he did the same thing for Gervinho, the first game that season, 0-0. Went down holding his face and got him sent off.
Kind of forgetting Pardew as a whole as well here.
Remember, he stuck a beast on someone.
He headbutted someone, didn't he?
He called
David Myler.
It was David Myler, yeah.
Pellegrino, an old, you know what, got on the touchline. I remember he almost had a scrap with Martin O'Neill in the derby, in the rain. Like he called him like all sorts as well. He pushed the linesman against Tottenham, and then he had the humanity of headbutting a player on this side. I mean, we thought Taylor was bad, but Pardew was the ultimate, wasn't he?
Yeah,
it's like Stephen Taylor would evolve into. Like in Pokemon, you'd give him a shit stone, and Stephen Taylor holds up a bit, and he just evolves into Pardew.
Pardew's the manager of Shithouse 11, and Stephen Taylor's the captain.
Shithouse 11, yeah.
Stephen Taylor's the captain.
Oh god, yeah. That's one for the comments, I think, Jess. We're trying to find ways of bringing people in. Name your Shithouse 11.
Shithouse 11, yeah.
Oh my word. I mean, Maradona. Obviously.
Sergio
Ramos can be a bit of a shithouse. Diego Costa, absolutely. Nigel de Jong.
Loads of Spaniards in this, by the way. That's just for a second. I'm gonna get accused of something in a minute.
Ronaldo, he's Portuguese. You know, when he thingied Rooney. Anyway, we've probably digressed. Jess, did you have any?
It was that few weeks last season when we had the Chelsea
the shithouse weeks. I love it.
when we've had one
Premier
shithouse
League
week.
Years. Yeah, Newcastle had a shithouse few weeks in March.
We've had this season's quarter this week, but last season it was when we had it was the Chelsea game when we stole it right at the end,
Isaac
and Lejeune against Everton.
Oh, yeah.
That was just
insane.
Wow, chef's kiss. Delightful.
Pickford trying to save it from behind.
That was so funny.
Then the still like the photos from behind are just absolutely. Put them on a canvas and get them on my wall. They're absolutely glorious.
That picture of Rafa up there.
Christmas tree.
Yeah, absolutely glorious.
I put Miggy on top of my Christmas tree last year and it worked. So if we're playing Everton around Christmas, which we always seem to, we'll do that. But no matter how many canvases you make, Everton will always make more. Right. Great. If you've got any more shithouses, we're all quite young, so if you want to go back further in time and name a shithouse of yesteryear, then please do. Yeah. What would be called like a shit? What we were called like an old time a shit hut back then. I mean, I don't know why I'm going back to Neanderthal times or something. That's a really bad restaurant. Yeah. Oh God. What a shit hut. Can I take your order, please? Burnley, they're a shit hut, I tell you that. Saturday, 8 p.m. Goals galore promised in this one. Amy, I bet you're staying up late at night thinking about the excitement for this game.
The anticipation is killing me for this one.
Tell you, getting you.
No goals at all.
Do you think it's going to be absolutely no goal? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Burnley haven't exactly been firing on all cylinders, have they?
No, they've lost the two opening matches, haven't they?
I forgot they were in the league, honestly. I forgot they were in the league. Well, maybe who knows? Jeff Hendrick with his return goal against his old team. Amy, I'll start with you for the prediction for this one.
No, nothing.
0-0.
Yep.
That's a point. Yeah. Disaster.
Disaster. Yeah.
Disaster.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, yeah. To be fair, 0-0. It sounds about right. Matty, what do you make of Burnley? I know we just said that they've lost the two there, but Mr. Analysis here, Mr. Stats.
Well, don't say that. People will be having a go at me. But it's just a case because I'll probably say something like, "No, you're wrong."
Absolute shit hut. Yeah.
You shit hut dweller.
That's even better. Brilliant. God.
It's a strange one because I feel like, you know, the sort of the same as us, but then they seem like, you know, they get a lot of praise sometimes. I think Sean Dyche is a good manager, personally. I think he's a very, very good manager. I would take him in our place, to be honest. I think.
Careful what you wish for.
Genuinely. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. I just like his attitude. I don't know what it is, but maybe I'll retract that statement. I don't know.
Just do it now before we get it.
I retract my statement.
Thank you. That's what they'll come for you for.
Yeah, they will do one there. They haven't came for me yet, but they will. But Burnley themselves, I think they're a team that are on our level at the moment. When we win the league, we're always that team sort of.
They're in the Premier League, though. Surely our level is.
No, but like our level
Norwich.
as like sort of not fighting relegation, but might be fighting relegation. But then you find themselves.
They're going to be around there, aren't they, at the end of the season?
So we'll see what happens.
Played against
Southampton the other day. They didn't seem too bad. I mean, Southampton scored an early goal, Danny Ings and all that stuff. But I don't know. If we can get 2 shots in the first half on target, that might be a start. And maybe
if one of them goes in.
Then maybe we might win 1-0, but I don't know. I mean, are they have
to be fair, our shot on target to goal ratio isn't bad. So if we get a shot on target, chances are it might go in.
Well, Newport killed that because we had like 10. But like,
cup game, don't matter.
They've had 2 centre halves who've been injured. Hopefully, that might be the case.
Tell me more. I want more of the history of Burnley because we're going that way with you.
Moore was built in. I think we might win 1-0. We might win 1-0.
There we go. Bloody hell. Hey, that's it.
We got there in the end.
Prediction. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My head's still microwaved from Wednesday.
This is why we don't have you on every week, Matty, because each week it would just like lead into the next one.
All right,
we need to give you a break, you see, just to cool down. We appreciate you. No, thank you. Jess, just give us a score.
0-0.
0-0.
There you go. Thank you. See you later.
I'm going to join you on that one. Have they got Chris Wood still playing for them?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he's going to score. 1-0 Burnley.
What? Oh, well, really?
Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology.
Yeah, when you like ask the universe for something.
Yeah, I don't want to win. No, I do. I think I'm with you guys. 0-0. It's got it written all over. Sky have picked it, and they're like, right, let's get Burnley Newcastle on, and the entire country.
Yeah, but don't Sky have to pick it though? Like, because
what do you mean? What, like a gun? Because
all the games are on telly these days. Like,
well, they weren't. I know, but it's October now, so I don't know if is that extended.
Well, there's 4 games on Saturday, so.
Tell you what, my day. Rubbing my hands together. Oh dear. Any other business right at the end here? There is 2 good things to end on. Federico Fernandez is a sound bloke because he ran over to the Newport's player who missed. Sorry. And he gave him a hug.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Maybe it was like a thing. Fernandez has tested positive and he went over to get really close to him. Maybe he's a shithouse.
Whoa.
No, he's captain of Lovely Lads 11.
Captain of Lovely Lads 11. Yeah, again, comment with that. No, Fede Fernandez definitely would go for a San Miguel with him. Sponsored
Matty
by.
would.
That just says Miguel. You just cut off the bit.
Dirty Miguel, yeah.
We won't get the sponsorship now. Look at this. We're running well over time here. The other news, Papi Cisse congratulated Shane Ferguson on the birth of his child, which is great to see. 2 players you never thought would still be interacting with each other. But at the same time, he's also just signed for Fenerbahce. And if you want to go and see that amazing announcement video from Fenerbahce, go on my Twitter. What the hell does it mean? What does it mean?
It means he flies plane with goggles.
He flies into a 70s family in Turkey. I think it's Turkish. Crashes his plane and then walks out unscathed.
Their vlog's really badly put together, by the way.
I mean, yeah, I know exactly. Someone tagged Grant Pringle saying this is your next announcement, and I was tempted to go, Christ, if we get another announcement, we'll be lucky. But what a fantastic way to end the week at NUFC. Long may it continue, and may I just say how great it was that Robert Godden got to saw Newcastle United beat Newport County. And I believe they're actually going to take the picture of Robert to the quarter-final. Newcastle, Grant Pringle, who we just mentioned there, has been in touch, said they're going to take it there. Christ, we've run over. God knows how. Matty, it's your fault for telling us everything.
Burnley.
That's the Burnley way.
Do you want to give us one quick fact on Burnley?
I've been there once.
Good. Oh, brilliant. Tell you what, you've booked your seat for the next one. But that was ExtraTyne. Amy, thank you so much for joining us. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been really good. I was really nervous, but yeah.
You're fine. It's fine. We all are. Look at us. We're just laughing our way through another week in Newcastle. Have you got any tips for anyone in the Fantasy Football League this week?
Just triple captain your Vardys. That's it. Well, not Vardy because he won't be playing, but your De Bruyne.
Both your Vardys. Yeah, both Vardys. Yeah. Okay. And thank you, Matty, as always. Jess, what's the word going to be for the next week?
Hopeful.
Ooh, I like it. Hopeful here at Delegate Shot. Subscribe and like and do whatever you like after that. Yes, thank you very much. See you soon.